Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at the next lot of Pokemon V Battle decks. We've been waiting a little while for news on a new pair. Well, good news, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new pair of V Battle decks, and they are going to be featuring both Rayquaza V and Noivern V. Now, what is kind of interesting to note, these are reprints as we would generally expect. We can see that they've got the same attacks. We know they are very much reprints. But as we've come to expect, they are alternate art versions thereof, which I very, very much appreciate. It gives you a reason to go and pick these up, and I think that's kind of awesome. So, we've got Rayquaza, we've got Noivern. Are they any good? Well, one thing that does need to be pointed out right at the beginning, we don't have deck lists. They have just gone and been revealed, they have just gone and been announced, and all we have at the moment is the artwork to show essentially what the cards are. When obviously we do know the deck lists, I will make a video on them and show you, because that's kind of how I roll. But remember, these are, well, they're actually called Play Level 1 products. I still find it weird that they've not carried this on in all the modern products. They're not really being terribly consistent here. It's not like every product is now labeled like this. And bearing in mind, back in the early days of the Pokemon trading card game, they actually were. Back in the day, we actually had these kind of different levels of products, which was very, very cool. But yeah, we don't get that anymore. But these are still labeled as level 1 products. They are very much entry-level products. The lists we've had from them previously have not been amazing decks. Now, if what you are looking for is a deck to actually take to a tournament without making many changes, what you're looking for are the League Battle decks, the most recent one of which did feature Inteleon. Those are products which are designed to be taken to tournaments, they're ready. The Zacian V ADP one came out a little bit before that. These are products that you should buy to go and actually start having competitive decks and really going nice and quickly. That is not what we have with these decks. And again, we don't know. These could be absolutely stunning, amazing, brilliant decks that are ready to go and win tournaments straight out the box. That could be the case. However, we don't know. And honestly, and I say this all the time, the best way to predict future behavior of a company is to look at the past behavior of a company. And as it stands at the moment, it is overwhelmingly likely that these are going to be entry-level products. There are going to be some cool cards in there. There are going to be some good trainers. There are going to be some cool Pokemon. The V-Battle decks so far have been cool. However, it's probably a fair prediction to make that Pokemon are going to carry on doing the League Battle decks as these big, fancy products that are super hyper-playable, and then the V-Battle decks as intro decks. Now, it is worth remembering that these V-Battle decks have basically just replaced theme decks. Theme decks don't happen anymore. Used to be that every time you bought a new set, there would be a theme deck, like back in Triumphant when we had Mamoswine. And there was another one, but nobody cares because there was a Mamoswine. Nowadays, we don't get theme decks coming along with sets. We get these coming along as well. So these are a replacement for them. And I've said this many times before, and I'll say it many times again. If you want to learn how to play, and you want a nice, gentle introduction, go and buy all the V-Battle decks. This will make 6. Go and buy all 6 of the V-Battle decks and roll with it, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got a small group of friends or even just one person you want to play and you're not really interested in making 1 or 2 proper top-tier decks, you just want to have fun learning to play with a bunch of different decks, go and hoover up these V-Battle decks. It is a great way to learn to play the game. Okay. But what about if we're not brand new players? What about people like me that have been around the block a few times? Well, we've got brand new cards, and actually, they're not new cards, they're new artwork of cards we haven't had yet, but will have had by the time this comes around. Hope that's not too confusing. Evolving Skies is the set where these Pokemon are going to be featured. And what is extremely cool here is that these are Dragon Pokemon. And Dragon Pokemon are back. We've not seen Dragon Pokemon for years. They are coming back in Evolving Skies, and then straight away, these V-Decks are actually bringing us this. And that's so cool. Dragons are back. I want to celebrate dragons being back. And now dragons are back. And this is awesome. So which one of these is the better one? I actually kind of like... Now, here's the thing. Rayquaza V Max is great. Having said that, I mean, Japan had their nationals this past weekend. Rayquaza did not represent like I was expecting it to, but having said that, there's a million different reasons. I can't go into them all now. It's very new. We're just pre-rotation. Maybe post-rotation it'll be better. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the format is not set up for Rayquaza V Max right now. I don't know. But Rayquaza V on its own we'll get to in a minute. I'm not a huge fan of, but I do think Rayquaza V Max is great, and obviously to play Rayquaza V Max, you've got to have Rayquaza V. But Noivern I actually like. And here's the thing. Free retreat, basic Pokemon, single energy, so it is just begging to be used turn 1 going second, 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. And with HP as they are nowadays, we're not going to get a lot of KOs doing 20 damage spread. But early in the game, haven't got lots of energy attached, haven't been able to evolve and all yet. This works. This works very, very nicely. Get a bit of spread damage going early in the game, get some damage out there. This is pretty gosh darn cool. Now as for Rayquaza, like I've said, love the V Max. The V, single energy, 40 damage, discard the top 2 cards of your deck is alright. If you've got 2 fire or 2 lightning energy on and one of the other, you can discard them both to do 180. It's not exactly what we're looking for, frankly, ladies and gentlemen. It's fine, but I don't think we should be getting terribly excited. I don't think it's particularly cool. I am sorry. But then again, Rayquaza is a fantastically popular Pokemon, so maybe people are going to be loving this. I mean, these are dropping in October, and of course, October is when Celebrations drops. So I think it's fair to say that these products might be somewhat of an afterthought for an awful lot of players and collectors time this comes around, especially collectors. Celebrations is going to really be the priority for an awful lot of people around this time. It's cool, but I don't know how great they are. Essentially, I think we need to look at these as, if you're a new player or you're learning to play, these are likely to be very, very cool. If you specifically want Rayquaza or Noivern, these are going to be very, very cool. If you're a seasoned player who's not interested in these particular artworks, I'm not entirely sure they're going to be the ones you're looking for, but that doesn't mean they're not really cool products. I love these. I will probably be picking them up because I like the alternate artwork. Now, there is one more thing we need to consider, and that is, of course, that there is a double pack. And from what we've seen of the double packs previously, they've got some extra stuff. Now again, we can't say this for absolute certain, it's not been confirmed yet. If it is, I'll pin a comment down at the top of the comments there. But if we go to the first lot of the battle decks, when you bought the double pack, you got a couple of Turbo Patch, and a couple of Marnie, and a couple of Quick Ball, and Holo Boss's orders. And incidentally, those Holo Boss's orders could only be gotten when you bought the double pack of the V Battle decks. And we saw a very similar thing with the second lot of V Battle decks. For anyone wondering, the first lot of V Battle decks were your Venusaur and Blastoise, that incidentally were brand new cards that could not be gotten elsewhere. They were only available in those V Battle decks. The second lot were the Gardevoir from Champion's Path and the Victini from Sword and Shield, but reprinted with alternate artwork. And here again, we've got existing cards that are going to be in Evolving Skies, but reprinted with alternate artwork. There's still a whole bunch of questions to be asked here. Does the double pack come with the extra trainers we expect it to? And incidentally, if it does like the previous ones and you want to pick these up, the double pack is definitely the way to go. Are these going to be more entry-level products with less competitive deck lists like they have been before? That is likely, though not confirmed. When we have a deck list, I will share it with you. So, there's still things to learn here, still things to be told in the future, but we got new V battle decks coming, and as with all of these products, like, if you don't want these, that's fine. There are going to be people out there that are excited about them, so if you're excited, great. If you're not, don't worry about it. Other people will be. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to know what you think about all of this, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.